Welcome back to another collective reading. As always, let's begin with a prayer. I open a channel in this safe and protected space, and I call forth all well-intentioned energies and entities that wish to bring forth messages for the collective's highest good, for the collective's best possible, happiest timeline, harm unto none, and please remove my influence from these collective readings. I now invite all well-intentioned energies and entities to allow me to see, hear, taste, touch, sense, smell, know, feel, understand anything that the collective needs to know. I feel like I'm seeing different shapes, and it's not one set thing. It seems to continuously change from one thing to another thing to another thing to another thing. And it's kind of like zipping from here to there to here and there and changing as it just moves. So it's kind of giving me the feeling of like a shapeshifter or like fluid, changing, adapting in a way. I feel like I saw a person like doing this, like thinking, observing, waiting. That almost looks like a bird. The way a bird kind of like swoops in to grab something with its talons. How it kind of has that look with its wings outstretched and then its talons are just reaching out. Kind of has that look. Is that it? Is there anything else? My AC just turned off when I asked if there's anything else. I wonder if that's a no. I think that's it. 7 minutes. I think that's it. So, shape-shifting, changing, adapting, waiting, observing, a person thinking, and then a bird attacking or landing. Interesting. I now invite all well-intentioned energies and entities to select 4 random songs to help this message locate the collective and to help this collective connect to this message. Please and thank you, please and thank you, please and thank you, please and thank you. The 4 random songs are Superman by Eminem. Interesting. Next is, I don't know this, but I think this is a Chinese song by Claire Kuo. I'll write it in the video description. Que Bonita by DePaul. West Coast by Lana Del Rey. Interesting array of songs. All right. And today's channeled video or movie is Frozen 2. it popped up into my head. Another movie popped up into my head, but I'll do the other movie for the next collective. So let me play Frozen 2 and see what we get. Make sure volume isn't too loud. Oh, that's interesting. The movie total time is 1 minute 43 second or 43 minutes. 1 hour 43 minutes 14 seconds. One interesting thing that I noticed when I was watching Moana 2 in the previous collective that I did was the spiral. How there are different Disney films that have spiral motifs in it. And I know I didn't see a spiral in this meditation, but I'm watching Frozen 2, and Frozen 2 has a spiral in it when they're welcoming Anna and Elsa to Northumbria. And then Moana also has a spiral when Moana's ancestors help bring her back to life. And in essence, that's also kind of like welcoming her to the afterlife in a sense. Spoiler if you haven't seen Moana 2 yet, but okay. What does the collective need to know? Cards are like popping but not flipping. Again, popping but not flipping. We have kept secret in the reversal. This says, you prove your trustworthiness. A lock refuses to be picked. A barrier holds true. Only you know the truth. But in the reversal. Interesting. So you prove your trustworthiness. If it's kept secret, then something isn't trustworthy. Either you or something else isn't trustworthy. A lock refuses to be picked. That means that in the reversal, something was opened. A lock was picked. A lock was unlocked. A barrier holds true. A barrier was broken or crossed. Only you know the truth. The truth has come out. Again, interesting because I chose Frozen 2. And Frozen 2 is literally about trustworthiness, a lock, a barrier, and truth. And all of it came undone or was revealed in some way. I'm going to turn it up a little bit. What else? Okay, that fell out onto the floor. In the sideways. Artful fox. Interesting. So the thing about a fox is they're known for being sly, tricky. playful. And even the caption on this card says, sometimes the hound regrets chasing the fox. And that's interesting because in my meditation, I saw like a shapeshifter, something just changing shape, morphing. In other words, it could also be considered like a trickster. Tricksters kind of change their shape, or they adapt. They're cunning and they can adapt. And foxes are also known for cunning, or they symbolize cunning in some type of way. And this card says the artful fox. That's another thing. So like but it's in the sideways. And also, sometimes the hound regrets chasing the fox. In my meditation, a bird was attacking. I see a lot of birds in my meditation visions, but I've never seen a bird attack before in like the whole year and a half that I've been doing these meditation visions. I've always seen a bird flying, a bird soaring, a bird's wings just flapping, but I've never seen a bird like do the swoop and the attack, like the grab. And kept secret in the reversal. This is kind of giving me the feeling like maybe beware. Maybe there is kind of like a person. There could be a person in your vicinity, in your life, that is slightly cunning and crossing barriers, like picking at certain locks, picking at certain truths, uncovering certain things. Or you could be uncovering certain things about a sly, cunning person in your life that's creating a runner-chaser dynamic. Or you could be that person that is almost like a trickster fox. Let's see. Then we have cliffhanger in the upright. You have no fear of death. Protection utterly fails. You glimpse what lies beyond. A calamity changes opinions. Cliffhanger. And it's interesting that it says protection utterly fails, because in the kept secret card, it says a barrier holds true. But if that's in the reverse, then that means a barrier failed. Barrier is like a protection. You have no fear of death. You glimpse what lies beyond. And then on kept secret, the fourth bullet point is only you know the truth. But in the reversal, it's not just you that knows the truth. Maybe it's kind of like a truth that other people know, which makes sense for you glimpse what lies beyond. But also, only you know the truth in reversal. It could also mean like you don't know. It's funny because I'm thinking, if you don't know, now you know. Like maybe you didn't know that you had someone in your vicinity that was cunning and tricksy, like a trickster. But you're starting to kind of like get information. Also, a calamity changes opinions. So you might have experienced something that is like starting to change your opinion about a particular person. And again, this person could be you too. This artful fox could be a person that you are connected to, or it could be you. could also read this a different way, though. For example, because I also saw like a person like thinking, pondering in my vision. Let's just say, for example, you are a person that's trying to uncover a truth, and you are probably being guided to be a bit more cunning, a bit more artful, a bit more tactful, maybe to shapeshift a little bit in order to deduce the truth. Let's get more, or let's get another card. Regret in the sideways, because it, yeah. Regret. Failure cripples a thief's skill. A soldier retires prematurely. Doubt plagues a genius. Death haunts a healer's dreams. Interesting. This is really interesting because what do we have at the bottom of the deck? We have influencer and socialite in reverse at the bottom of the deck. It's interesting, interesting, interesting. Was regret supposed to be... Because if I saw it here... I'm going to play around. Should this card be in the reversal? It is certain. So it's supposed to be in the reversal. Just going to play again. Should this card be in the sideways? Nay. Okay, so the card is this way. It's interesting. Let me rewind. $12:08 timestamp on Frozen 2, though the future remains unknown. May our good luck last. May our past be past. Time's moving fast, it's true. It's interesting because we have cliffhanger. I'm trying to figure out if this should be in the sideways. When I looked at it sideways. And why do I have so much doubt? Oh my God. Okay, I have a lot of doubt with this card. And I even just said, why do I have so much doubt with this? The third bullet on this card, I literally said it too. Doubt plagues a genius. I'm feeling the doubt from this card. The doubt about regret. Failure cripples a thief's skill. That's interesting because we have kept secret in the reversal. Again, a lock refuses to be picked. But if it's in reversal, that means the lock was picked. Who picks a lock? A thief. Typically. A trickster, cunning spirit picks a lock. Or not spirit per se, but you know, a trickster, cunning person picks a lock. A soldier retires prematurely. doubt plagues a genius, death haunts a healer's dream. And with cliffhanger, it says you have no fear of death. But again, this is in the sideways. That's the reason why I'm feeling the doubt, because I was confused about this card. So let me adjust these cards. So I'm going to keep that in the sideways. And then we have the influencers and socialite at the bottom of the deck. So this gives me the feeling like it could either be you that is the influencer or socialite, or it could be this person, whoever you're connected to, that is an influencer or socialite. But in the reversal, it's kind of giving me like a facade. Like someone who actually isn't an influencer or socialite. Someone who actually, like, maybe someone who is in the limelight, someone who does have some type of like sway, or maybe someone who does, let me press play. Could be someone who, because this card, the picture on this card, and there's mislead at the bottom, like right underneath it. And love triangle right underneath that. Interesting. Okay. So what I was going to say is this picture on this card is a very like beautiful woman with like beautiful clothes, beautiful accessories, looks very made up, jewelry, hair accessories, beautiful hair, beautiful makeup, but in the reversal. So this could be someone who essentially uses their looks for some type of advantage, or uses their charisma, uses like a femme fatale, for example, or anyone who uses status. Like, I have money, I have a title, I know these people, I know a lot of people, I have connections, I network. And it's kind of like, it's like they use it to their advantage to gain the things that they want. But because mislead is right beneath that, it's like, but it's very misleading. It's not real. It's a facade. And then with the love triangle beneath that, it could be like, this is kind of what they do. They probably gain access. They probably use their wit, their cunning, their status, their looks, their charm to like get through certain people's boundaries, to like take what they need to take. And with cliffhanger, it does say a calamity changes opinions. It's like, maybe this person, it could be you, or it could be someone you know, or someone that you're connected to. Maybe if you are this person who has come across someone like that, who uses their looks, their money, their charm to get what they want from people, you could have experienced it, realized what was going on, and then now is kind of like in regret over opening yourself up to a particular person that was just misleading you all along, just to get what they wanted. Now, if you are the influencer socialite that uses charm, wit, looks, money, status, whatever, to get your way, you could be starting to see the effects, or in essence, kind of like looking in the mirror. I split the deck, and there's stern mentor with blessed light. Maybe someone told you what's really happening. Like, maybe someone shined a light, like a mirror, shined a light on, hey, that person is using you. That person is taking from you. Or if you are that person that's using, manipulating, taking, whatever, you could have been told, hey, you're messed up. You need to get your crap together because you're messing around with people, and these people don't deserve that. That's interesting because in Frozen 2, that's essentially the bulk of the storyline, like the secret of the storyline is the king orchestrated an entire ambush by pretending to come in peace, pretending to have peace with is it Northumbria and North Uldra? I think it's North Uldra, with those people. And under the guise of peace, initiated an ambush that essentially like cursed the land. $31.24. Got to keep an eye on the time so I can pause around the 33, make sure it doesn't cut off. Now, this doesn't necessarily have to be someone. I mean, yeah, it could be some, like any type of influencer or socialite, like even someone high profile on social media, high profile in movies and TV shows, or it could just be, an everyday person that is utilizing, again, their looks or some type of status or money to get what they want. And again, it could also be you. Ooh. Oh, this flipped. Honorable mention, Griptide in the reversal. This also came out in the other collective reading that I just did. Griptide is grip and tide. Tide is emotions, or the ocean, which I equate to emotions, and grip is holding on. So it's like holding on to emotions, or emotions holding on to you. But in the reversal, it's like letting the emotions, instead of letting it consume you, letting it kind of just feeling it and then letting it go. Not being consumed by emotions. And this just fell out too. Parasitic implant collective reading I just did. Parasitic, oh no. Okay, it paused. But what I was saying was parasitic implant also came out in the previous collective reading that I just did too. And parasitic implant is like something inside you that's eating you up. Or someone else or something else like latching onto you and draining you. So the honorable mentions with Griptide in the reversal and parasitic implant in the upright, it is kind of giving me the feeling of like, for example, if you were involved with someone or a space or environment or whatever that was kind of like using you in some type of way or getting certain things from you in some type of way, then it's like release the emotions and don't let it eat you up inside. Or like release the emotions, release whatever it is, so that way it doesn't eat you up inside. Or identify like what burdens are yours, what responsibilities are yours. Because some emotions that we feel, for example, are projections. They're not really ours. And we need discernment, and we need to be able to spend time with ourselves in order to separate, to discern what feelings are really ours and what feelings and thoughts are someone else's that they then placed onto us through various situations. Interesting. Forced adaptation and grounded, splitting the deck. That's exactly what I'm saying, is like, ground yourself, because like you're going to have to adapt. That's just like the shapeshifter that I saw in my meditation. So like if people kind of prove themselves to be shapeshifters, prove themselves to be people that kind of like put on different masks, wear different faces, you need to be able to recognize that, so that way you can also adapt too. Or at the same time, like if certain situations happen in your life, like this, like cliffhanger, a calamity changes opinions. Like you need to be able to maneuver through whatever calamities take place in your life, whatever like situations take place in your life, so that way you can pivot and adapt to it. And again, with the grip, tide, and reversal, like don't let certain things consume you. I mean, we have the regret here in the sideways. So again, this could be you regretting letting someone into your life or giving someone or something access. Or it could be something else regretting, or someone else regretting being a manipulator, so to speak. Or you could be the shape-shifting, tricksy manipulator person. So again, place yourself, use your discernment, place yourself where you are in this collective reading. And keep in mind that it is a collective, so some things may ring true for you and some things may not. These collectives are for different people. All right, let's clarify kept secret in the reversal. Oh, cards. We have Purgatory in the upright. Interesting. Let me actually just look up the definition of purgatory so that way I can be on the safe side. Purgatory. In Roman Catholic doctrine, it means a place or state of suffering inhabited by the souls of sinners who are expiating, I don't know, their sins before going to heaven. Another definition is having the quality of cleansing or purifying. Infernal punishments are purgatory and medicinal, which is interesting because we have regret also in the sideways, and then purgatory for kept secret in the reversal. You prove your trustworthiness, but in reversal, you're untrustworthy. Again, it may not be you, it could be someone that like you're connected to. A lock refuses to be picked, but the lock has been picked. Something has been like broken into. A barrier holds true. Protection has failed. Again, protection utterly fails. Only you know the truth. Everyone knows it. Or you're not aware of it. But with purgatory in the upright, like This really does feel, because it does say a place or state of suffering. It really does feel like someone is in regret and someone is suffering by being, like, because they were deceitful. Because they were deceitful, they crossed boundaries, they probably stole something, stole energy, stole money, stole time, stole people, since we also have love triangle right underneath the mislead. That also makes me think of like friends who are actually not really friends and they steal your partners. And there's a lot of that type of situation always has like so much baggage attached to it, so much like emotional baggage, because there's a lot that goes into something like that. I mean, aside from normal stealing in general. This is really interesting. Oh, that's another thing too in this movie, Frozen 2. When the king deceives North Ultra, and essentially like ambushes them and slaughters them, like the spirits of the land, the forest, the elements, create a barrier, lock them in, and essentially locking them into purgatory until the wrong could be righted. And I've just reached the part, 27 minutes, 56 seconds, where they've reached North Uldra, and they see the wall or the dam that was built for the exchange of peace. 42 minutes. Okay, let's clarify Purgatory and Kept Secret. Hand of Enlightenment. It's a holographic shiny card. Wow. Hand of Enlightenment. We have endured lifetimes of war and carved our way to peace by blade and conquest. Didn't I just say? Like ambushing, slaughtering. Now, united at last under Kyodai's guidance, we lay down our weapons and open our minds. And that's to clarify Purgatory and Kept Secret. It's like the only way to get out of Purgatory is essentially to atone. And how do you atone? You have to become enlightened. You have to open your mind to everything you've done, to everything the person's done, or the other people have done, other spaces and places. You have to open your mind to the chronological timeline of events and choices. Like, how did it get here? How did someone get into Purgatory? It's like you have to make peace in some type of way. Sometimes it requires making peace with yourself. Sometimes it requires making different choices in the future. Sometimes it requires atoning to the people that, like, you have wronged, you or another person, for example. Growing up means adapting, puzzling out your world at your pace. What? Puzzling out your world and your place. Timestamp 30 minutes, 38 seconds. It's interesting. Growing up means adapting. Puzzling out your world and your place. In my meditation vision, I saw the person doing this gesture, thinking. This very much goes in line with that. It's like the shape-shifting is the adapting, puzzling out is the thinking, and then the bird attacking. It's like gaining more wisdom. Interesting. Okay, let's clarify Artful Fox. This fell out into my lap in the sideways. This card is Myojin of Cryptic Dreams in the sideways. I chose this card and placed it into my deck because Cryptic Dreams in the sideways. This could mean that maybe you have received some cryptic dreams of your own that tells you of certain things about certain people or about yourself. And if it's not you that had the dreams, then it could be someone else that you're connected to that this might be about. Someone else who might have seen certain things in dreams. Pay attention to your dreams. This is also making me think of a dream that I had just last night. It does kind of fit with this reading because my dream was about, my particular dream was, I went to school with a schoolmate, a classmate, a woman, another woman, and she was wealthier. She was the daughter of one of the professors at the school, so she had kind of like a status. But she did not like the fact that her father, as a professor, had like an obligation to the students. Not gonna lie though, in my dream, the professor also had a relationship with one of the students, one of the other students. And the daughter was throwing huge tantrums about it. That's interesting because that literally does fall in line with some type of influencer, socialite, and kind of like using the status to kind of like do things. But at the same time, like professors, students, what is going on? The deck split is Pacifism and Feet of Strength in reversal. That makes sense. It does take a feat of strength. It takes a lot of inner strength to be a pacifist, to be someone that maintains peace instead of reacts. I don't know if my dream, like, I don't know what my dream has anything to do with anything, but that's an example. Like, pay attention to your dreams. Even if your dreams seem weird, there's probably a message in there somewhere about something or someone, situation. It's also interesting because in the description of this cryptic dreams card, it does say spirit, legendary creature, spirit. So that could be, for example, like you are getting dream downloads from spirit or from spirit guides, ancestors. So like keep an eye out. You might receive warnings to your dreams. Minutes. All right. Clarify Artful Fox and Cryptic Dreams. This came out in the reversal. Ensnare. Ensnare is like grabbing hold, something grabbing on, like the bird that I saw that was attacking. Just like grabbing with their talons. But ensnare is in the reversal, so it's like something can't catch you, something can't hold you, or if they hold you, they can't hold you for long. Maybe this is saying that if you pay attention to your cryptic dreams, because another thing, this fox is called Artful Fox, which again is like cunning, along with cryptic dreams. So yeah, this is giving me the feeling that if you can pay attention to your dreams, if you can pick up on the signs that you're being given through your dreams, you can avoid being trapped. Split the deck. Quick draw in the reversal and channeling in the upright. Channeling is literally this and the dreams. It's getting information from other outside sources, but just like to you. And then quick draw, like reacting quickly, but in the reversal. So it's just like react on, like use the channeling to react fast. Use your dreams to avoid getting trapped. Use your messages, whatever you're being told and guided by, to avoid traps or to avoid people who set traps. This could also, the Purgatory card, instead of it being like the person that's manipulating being in a purgatory space, this could also be, for example, you or another person that was kind of a victim to a manipulator. And usually when you are a victim, you're kind of stuck in this space of like, how did I let that happen? And you kind of like go in the circle of self-blame. Again, quick draw in the reversal and lost in a labyrinth in the reversal too. Like, don't get lost in the labyrinth of blame. Don't get lost in the labyrinth of like, avoid the traps, avoid the people. Watch out for the signs. Keep your eyes open. Be vigilant. Adapt. Sit with yourself. Think. Use your brain. And again, if you are the person that is the tricksy fox, like, and you have some guilt because you've used your looks or your money to get your way, or your status or whatever to get your way, enlighten yourself. Open your mind. Again, think, atone, change, adapt. But don't adapt to get your way. Adapt to actually be at peace. Let's verify or clarify cliffhanger, please. Furious resistance in the upright. Furious resistance is either a block or, again, resistance. Something actively pushing against something, and that's the cliffhanger. You have no fear of death. So you're just like, you're pushing away the fears. You're pushing, like, you're blocking out certain things. Protection utterly fails. Even though protection has failed, you're still putting up some type of resistance. You glimpse what lies beyond. Ooh, glimpse what lies beyond the dreams. If you're getting messages in your dreams, this is kind of giving me also that you're furious resistance. Maybe you don't believe that you're actually being given messages in your dreams. We have unnoticeable at the bottom of the deck. Also, a calamity changes opinions. And then we have furious resistance. That could also mean that if you've actually experienced a situation that has kind of opened your eyes to something, you could be resisting the truth. And right now I'm at the part 42 minutes 13 seconds where they are now creating the spiral that I mentioned earlier in this reading. They're creating the spiral to welcome Anna and Elsa to North Ultra. Oh, my leg's falling asleep. Yeah, North Ultra. We are the people of the sun. Say, I promise you I will free this forest and restore Arendelle. Okay, let's clarify cliffhanger and furious resistance. All right. Popped into my lap in the sideways. Gleam of battle. This card says, every soldier returns from battle changed by hardship, by blood, by a glimpse of glory, in the sideways. And that's interesting because I finished mentioning the last bullet point on this cliffhanger card that says, a calamity changes opinions. But with it was furious resistance. And then now the gleam of battle, talking about every soldier returns from battle changed by hardship, by blood, by a glimpse of glory, in the sideways. This is very much giving me the feeling like someone is resisting something. Like resisting the messages that they're being given in their dreams, resisting the messages that they're being given by other people, places, or things, resisting the truth of certain situations that they've actually experienced, resisting the fact that some things in their life have like fallen apart. And it's kind of like someone who doesn't want to see the truth, or someone who doesn't who doesn't want to change, doesn't want to change their opinion, doesn't want to see what lies beyond, doesn't want to admit that certain things failed. Also, possibly someone who doesn't want to accept the fact that life is constantly moving, and eventually, as with all things, life will inevitably end. It's funny, I said life will inevitably end, and we have claustrophobia and executioner's swing as the split deck. And it's like, yeah, with executioner swing, that's self-explanatory. Executioner, like actually ending something. But then claustrophobia, like scared of being in a box. And then what happens when a person passes? They're placed into a box, whether it be an urn or a coffin. Again, this is a collective reading, so it can definitely be for multiple people. It could definitely have different meanings, so use your discernment, sit with yourself to see what meaning this connects to for you. Let's clarify regret. We have Deputy of Acquittals in the reversal. Acquittals is essentially being taken to court but found not guilty of whatever crime was being tried for. But I'm going to look up the definition. I looked it up before, but I'm going to look it up again just to be on the safe side. Acquittal definition: a judgment that a person is not guilty of the crime with which the person has been charged, but in the reversal. And this is about regret. So this is very much giving me that if it's you or someone that you know or you're connected to, this could be spiritual court, this could be real court, but someone was actually found guilty of the crime that they committed. That crime could be not being trustworthy. The crime could be picking a lock and stealing something. The crime could be, a barrier holds true, like crossing someone's boundaries, crossing someone's barriers. The crime could be like revealing certain information. And it seems like a person holds some type of regret. But especially with this gleam of battle and this resistance, it's like it could be you, it could be another person, but it's like whoever this is, like they don't really want to come to terms with the things that they've done. Even though karma, universe, source, spirit, gods, goddesses, ancestors, whatever, already called a verdict. It's interesting too, because again, in this movie Frozen 2, the moment that the king ambushed Northuldra and slaughtered them, the spirits, all the elemental spirits, like they immediately changed. Immediately, like immediate purgatory, immediate verdict, immediate judgment. Very much like karma. I've also heard like karma happens quickly. karma happens immediately. The moment you do something. Because balance is a continuous thing that is outside of our control. I mean, we are responsible for balance within ourselves, which is the reason why the Hand of Enlightenment card is here. We are responsible for our own balance within self. But the moment we do something that is outside of self is the moment that other energies around us will immediately balance out whatever we put out. This is also giving me the sense that, like, if someone is starting to realize it's about to be 106, so I'm probably going to wait for a little bit. But if someone's starting to realize the effects of their choices and how they are rippling affecting and domino affecting others, like, they're not entirely ready yet to come to terms with it. And I'm going to pause. It's going to cut and move to another video. And we're back. Okay. What? Oh my God. Okay, I'm going to take a moment to pause because now I know you're my true north. 5106. The reason why that is significant is because I think that's a sign for me. I've been working on a podcast. I haven't put it out yet. I haven't recorded anything yet, but I've basically been writing out the bullet points and the topics for the episodes. And I have 4 episodes essentially written out. And the name of my podcast is called True North. So I think this is a sign to me to get started recording it. Okay, heard, spirit, heard. All right. Wow. Wow. I just saw a freaking... What was that? What was that? It looked like a dandelion, but not like a normal dandelion. It looked like a jellyfish. You know how jellyfishes, they almost look like a mushroom? But this looked like an upside down mushroom, but it was fluffy. It was a floofy little thing. That's why I thought it was a dandelion, because it looked fuzzy. And it was just flying outside my window. I'm on the 2nd floor. Where did that come from? I don't know. And then I also see a private small white plane outside, and that's interesting because that's a sign for me, not for this. A whole bunch of signs today. Okay. Heard, spirit, heard. I'll get on that podcast. All right. Let's clarify regret and acquittals. Okay. So we have down and dirty, but in the sideways. Someone was getting down and dirty. I mean, makes sense. Because down and dirty is very much like underhanded, like conniving, trickery. Let me see if down and dirty has like an actual definition. Down and dirty definition. Highly competitive or unprincipled. Earthy, direct, and explicit. The down and dirty realities about these diseases. Down and dirty meaning. Let's go to down and dirty slang. Unscrupulous, nasty. Okay, so it can mean down and dirty truth, which is just like a blast of reality. Down and dirty is to do or say harsh and unpleasant things. To do or say harsh and... Yeah, I mean, look at that. Someone, it could be you or someone that you're connected to, but someone's fighting with their regret inside because they were found guilty of essentially being down and dirty. And that's what the person, it could be you, again, you or another person. Someone doesn't really want to admit it. Someone doesn't really want to accept the fact that they're a trickster, a manipulator. Again, this reversed influencer socialite, someone who uses their looks, who uses their money, their charm, like tries to, like, literally misleading people into crappy situations. And what's funny is that underneath this love triangle is hindsight. Hindsight is like not knowing what happened until after the fact. And then underneath that is caltrops, which is traps. Hindsight, like hindsight about the different traps that were set. Again, this ensnare right here. This is all coming together in a very... Someone has gotten down and dirty. Okay, this card fell out. In the sideways. Now, what is this? Explosive impact. Honorable mention in the sideways. This is something that, again, explosive impact, self-explanatory. Something that hit hard, and it caused a calamity. But again, in the sideways. So could be something sneaky that like someone doesn't realize yet. Or it could be in the sideways because this is already after the fact. So whatever impact it was is no longer as impactful because some time has passed. Yeah, and then we have dead weight with the explosive impact. And dead weight in the reversal, which means it was let go, or in the process of being let go, which would explain the explosive impact in the sideways. All right, now let me shift in my chair, get more comfy. Sorry about that. My hair okay? I have my hair next to an open flame. Gotta be careful. gracious. Sorry. I have something over here on my right. All right, let's clarify this influencer and socialite person. Okay, that popped and kind of slid. Holy shit. The very first thing I saw in my vision was changing shapes, and I literally said, this is giving me the feeling of a shapeshifter. And this is to clarify the reversed influencer and socialite. You or someone you are connected to is literally a shapeshifter. They change themselves to place themselves in situations that are most beneficial for them, so that way they can take what they want whenever they want, by making themselves appear in whatever way they need to appear to get exactly what they want. I love this. I love this. I love this so much. And given the fact that the card popped out, landed, and then spun, it's literally the same thing. It's shifting. It didn't want to stay in one orientation. It wanted to change. This person, again, could be you, could be someone else. But this person, it almost feels like it's habitual, like it's compulsive, just can't help it. Gosh. Thank you, Spirit, Source, Universe, gods, goddesses, ancestors. Thank you. Thank you for my gifts. Thank you for this space of peace. I could not do this unless I was in a space of clear-minded peace and protection. All right, let's continue. What else can we glean from this influencer and this shape-shifting influencer, this shape-shifting socialite, this person who changes their face and puts on masks and most likely changes their personality to suit whatever space that they're in, again, to get exactly what it is that they want. Something popped? Nothing popped. Ooh, okay. 2 came out. Okay, so we have teleport in the reversal, which, again, teleport is being able to go from one place to another, like pew, 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 quickly. But we have on top of that, but again, I'm sorry, teleport in the reversal, 118, okay, means that you can't move from pew, pew, pew. You can't quickly get away. And right beneath teleport in the reverse is entangling vines. You can't get away because something is holding you. And this is to clarify the influencer socialite. So it could be, for example, that this influencer socialite, the shapeshifter, likes to grab people. That's why there's also this ensnare underneath the dreams and underneath the fox. It's like this sly, cunning person. You're getting messages in your dreams, or you're getting channels in some way, shape, or form to avoid being trapped, because that's what this person does. This person creates traps to keep people stuck, to keep them from moving. So that, and then the parasitic implant came out too as an honorable mention. So that way they could take and leech and feed and like an energy vampire. Or another way to interpret this is, remember how I said that this shapeshift, it almost seems compulsive. It almost seems like it's like they can't help it. This could be tied into that too. They can't, like they're stuck. They're stuck in this compulsion to manipulate, to shapeshift, to wear different masks, to take what they want, and it's like they can't stop. The bottom of the deck, invoke the divine. Let go of all that harms you. Cast your burdens into the darkness and build for the faithful a house of light. That goes hand in hand with this card, Hand of Enlightenment. I'll read it again. We have endured lifetimes of war and carved our way to peace by blade and conquest. Now, united at last under Kyodai's guidance, we lay down our weapons and open our minds. It's funny. I'm at the part in Frozen, timestamp 1 hour, 5 minutes, where Elsa has reached the island that's hard to reach. And she's saying, show yourself. I'm no longer trembling. Here I am, I've come so far. You are the answer I've waited for all of my life. It's interesting because the show yourself part, it's her. It's herself. She's essentially been searching for herself, and she didn't know it all along. I feel like this ties into that too. This ties into this reading. This shapeshifter person, again, could be you, could be someone you're connected to. It's like they don't really know themselves. If they're shapeshifting out of compulsion, it's most likely because they or you are not secure in themselves. They don't know who they are, or they don't like who they are. And part of the shapeshifting is, it's also an escape mechanism. It's a coping mechanism to cope with certain things, because it's harder, like the pacifism with the feat of strength. It takes a lot of strength to be a peaceful person. It does not take a lot of strength to get down and dirty. It is easy to get down and dirty. It is easy to lie and manipulate. It is so easy, but it is really hard to be a person who stands their ground and says no. That takes a lot of strength. And with this card, Invoke the Divine, it's very much like the Hand of Enlightenment. Like, be more enlightened, be more divine, be more of the integrity, of the light, of the peace. Let go all that harms you. And that's another thing, because we have Ensnare, Purgatory, regret, entangling vines. These are all things that like keep a person stuck. But you have to let go. And letting go comes from within. Cast your burdens into the darkness and build for the faithful a house of light. Also, the honorable mention, the split deck, where I had Stern Mentor on one side and Blessed Light on the other. A person who is most likely shining light on the truth. And that's very much like this. You or someone you know have most likely already been told the truth. And it's just coming to terms with the truth and actually changing. Wow. Wow, 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 wow. Let me see who you are. Come to me now, open your door. And that's like kept secret too. Well, this has been a journey. I wish you luck. If you are this shape-shifting person, I really hope you come to know yourself. You become enlightened. You look inside and you heal. You let go. You do whatever it is you need to do to be a person that you love. Because ultimately, the goal is to love ourselves, and not from a place of vanity, but from a place of peace. Like truly loving and embracing yourself. Now, if you are connected to someone who has essentially done you wrong by being down and dirty, then like come to peace with how things have gotten to that point, with the choices that you made up until that point, and how you allowed someone to enter your life that was a shapeshifter and probably took from you, and essentially work on your boundaries, work on your discernment, your instinct, your gut feeling. I wish you well, no matter on what side of this reading you're on. It's all we can do is just better ourselves. Whew. If you'd like a one-on-one reading with me, you can go to my Linktree, Tempest Trade, or DM me on any of my social media. All the links are in the description below. Until next time, bye.